Hey guys, this is Hybrid, and today I'm doing character bios for Captain America, aka Stephen Rogers, Sentinel of Liberty, the Captain, Super Soldier, whatever you want to call him, really. And anyways, I really like doing this character bio because originally I was going to do New 52 Nightwing, which I'm still planning on doing. But I thought I'd take a break because usually I do New 52 characters or Marvel Now characters, and this is a character that's been around for a very long time. Like, this is 1940s we're talking about. So he has a lot of history, and unlike a lot of characters, it hasn't been changed around. For all intents and purposes, his origin is still the same. So I thought I'd do this origin because a lot of people know the basic premise thanks to the Captain America movie, but they don't know the actual comic book origin. So it's quite a lot, but I think I condensed it in a way it still has the same like backstory to it without you losing anything at all. And also, I'll go, obviously, like I usually do, I'll go into the stuff, talk about it a little bit more, comment on it when I get to his like abilities and stuff. So, without further ado, I guess let's jump right in. So, real name Stephen Rogers. Just quick note: the costume you see there on the left of Captain America, it's his Marvel Now costume. Before I heard he's about the, or no, I didn't hear. I saw that he's getting a newer costume, but luckily sadly that picture wasn't that great. So I didn't put it up there. I'm just putting up this one. Plus, this one's a great combination, I think, of the modern Captain America costume that all the comics seem to want to adapt, but also the classic one that the comics don't really want to leave because a big part of Captain America is that whole man out of time aspect and the whole traditionalist kind of thing with his costume that, of all the superhero costumes, his has been relatively the same throughout his career. Like, yes, we've had the times where he's like the captain, is that black and red and white suit, and he's changed suits a few times, but for the most part, he's been pretty consistent. So, real name, like I said, is Stephen Rogers. His abilities: peak human physiology, master martial artist, tactician, strategist, acrobat, marksman, multilingual, and artist. Weaknesses: powerful opponents, forces, and mental manipulation. I'll get more into why mental manipulation is in there when I get to the weaknesses part, but I have a good reason for putting it in there. So let's get into his origins. Born July 4th, 1922, Stephen Rogers spent his childhood during the Great Depression, which is a very odd way to spend your childhood. Now, his parents were Irish immigrants, and his mother died when he was a teenager. Stephen Rogers also got into art during his childhood years. During a trip to the movies in 1940, he saw a newsreel of the Nazis and decided he wanted to join the army. Between his time as like a teenager to the 1940 time period, he didn't really do much. He kind of did menial jobs, I guess to put it in that way, kind of just jobs to keep himself going, like put money in his pocket, things like that. So nothing really interesting to cover there, in case you were wondering. Now, he saw the newsreel of the Nazis, and he decided he wanted to join the army, to help fight back the Nazis. Because Stephen Rogers has always been a character, like he got bullied a little bit when he was a kid. And he's always been a character that wants to stand up to bullies. Doesn't like seeing people get picked on by bullies. And, the Nazis, and I think the Captain America movie touched on it pretty well. The Nazis are bullies. Stephen Rogers doesn't like bullies, things like that. Even if it kind of sounds childish, that's kind of the point. The kind of thing that's driving him, so to speak. And also, he's very patriotic himself and things like that. So he volunteered many times, but he has a kind of weak physique, so he was rejected various times. After a failed attempt, though, one evening, he was met by a military general named Chester Phillips, who brought Stephen, after an interview, obviously, because they just didn't take random people, into the whole Project Rebirth program. He had to do a lot of military training and take a few military tests before he could go through the procedure. But once he proved that basically he has potential, they took him in. Like, I was reading one comic and it went through his training, because a lot of people don't know Captain America went through a lot of training before he actually gained the super soldier serum. And that was evident in one comic when he took out a bunch of super soldier serum people, because what happens is that and this is during the whole super soldier run after Bucky was Captain America, they took the super soldier serum out of him and he was all like kind of weak again, but he still had the training. And he said a lot of people seem to forget that even without the super soldier serum, he still has all those years of experience and training with him. So it's not like he needs it to fight. He just needs it to lift a lot of weight and run fast, things like that. So there you go there. But anyways, so a success, the formula created by Dr. Erskine, which I think Erskine, some. If I pronounce, I'm not gonna try saying it again because I don't want to mess it up anymore. But it turns Steven into the peak of human potential, both physically and mentally. A lot of people forget that the super soldier serum also augments the person taking it mentally as well. So after the procedure, a Nazi spy attack, killing Dr. Erskine and any hopes of redoing the procedure, since Dr. Erskine didn't have time to write down the finalized formula and like how much Vita rays that the person or subject has to be like soaked in, etc. So after the Nazi spy incident, Steven underwent more military training and education than before. By the spring of 1941, he was active under the codename Captain America, operating covertly. Now, as you can see there, the picture has Bucky in it too. Yes, Bucky did join him, but I'm not going to address Bucky because this is not a Winter Soldier character bios. This is a Captain America character bios. So I obviously know he existed, but I'm just not going to talk about him because that take away from who the focus is in this issue. Or this, episode of character bios. So he fought in many battles during World War II. That's an awesome image in my opinion. Even teaming up with other heroes. He teamed up with the original Android Human Torch. He teamed up with Namor. He teamed up the original Howling Commandos. So he has done a lot of cool stuff. And actually, they touched upon his and Namor's relationship during Avengers vs. X-Men, which I did like. I didn't like the crossover, but I like that they touched upon that. During one of a mission that I would classify as being failed, he became frozen in ice until he was found by the Avengers during the modern day. He continued after as Captain America, as an Avenger, but as the Sentinel of Liberty. That's like a really big popular nickname for Captain America, besides being like the super soldier and things like that. So let's get to his abilities. Like I said in the beginning of this video, peak human physiology, and he's also a master martial artist, tactician, strategist, acrobat, marksman, he's multilingual, and he's a really good artist. I'm going to touch upon each thing. So peak human physiology, both physically and mentally, he is a peak of human potential. And by that I mean no one can be, literally, you can't lift 1 pound more than Captain America. You can't have a higher, base IQ than Captain America without being classified as superhuman. He is the pinnacle of human potential. So just keep that in mind. No matter what size you are, no matter how tall you are, no matter how broad your shoulders are, no matter how much you lift, you cannot beat Captain America in weightlifting or anything like that physically. Or no matter how hard you study, things like that, you can't beat him mentally. I just want to make it clear, yes, Batman is smarter than Captain America. That's because Batman studied those things. If you gave Captain America a book with all those things, he would know all of it too and be smarter, because the way his mind works is basically, think about photographic memory, think about the best type of memory people have. Captain America has better than that. He has the peak mental capabilities of a human. And the same thing goes, like I've said 5 times now, physically too, he could lift more weight than anyone ever could without being classified as superhuman. He's also a master martial artist. One issue of Steven Rogers' Super Soldier, after Bucky became Captain America, it was clearly stated that Steven Rogers is the most highly trained hand-to-hand combatant in the world. So just take that into consideration, considering all the other fighters. And that also comes into play with how, and you can see in the right picture there, he one-on-one fought against Spider-Man. Even Spider-Man himself stated that Captain America could beat him in a fight. Sure, Spider-Man might be stronger and faster, but fighting-wise, Captain America takes the cake. And even with the spider sense, it was still a lot for Spider-Man to fight Captain America. And even though this wasn't a Spider-Man comic, Captain America got much more hits in than Spider-Man, just to show you how skilled of a fighter he is. Strategist, that goes a lot into his military background and also his mental capabilities. He knows a lot of strategy and, tactician too, tactics that the military has used throughout history from the World War II period to modern day periods. and probably he's come up with his own things as he's worked with Iron Man. He's worked with alien civilizations, and I'm pretty sure alien civilizations have their own strategies that humans have never thought about. And then Acrobat, as you can see in the left picture as well, shows some of his acrobatics going on there under him bench pressing. And then Marksman, being a soldier in the military, he is very capable of using weapons like guns, things like that. And considering his physical abilities, he has the potential basically of being the greatest marksman ever. Multilingual, he knows many languages. A lot of that's due to his mental abilities. He can pretty much learn anything essentially instantly. And then artist, he did art since he was like a kid basically. And I liked how they showed that in the Captain America movie, where they showed him drawing, because even though they didn't flat out say, oh, I'm a really good artist or something like that, they just the little things like that that lets you know this character, obviously it's either a hobby or they had some type of training as an artist. Now, weaknesses. His weaknesses are powerful opponents, forces, and mental manipulation, among other things like weapons. Now, as you can see in the right picture, that's from the infamous death of Captain America when he got shot. Captain America is not bulletproof. If anything, his suit might be bulletproof, but him himself is not bulletproof. He is as vulnerable as any other human. Like, he might have a little bit denser skin tissue and muscle tissue and, bone density, but it's nothing that, could stop a bullet. Even though he has been stated that he can dodge bullets if he's far enough away. Now, mental manipulation, that goes a lot into the fact that he's a veteran. And if I remember correctly, I've read comics where it's been exploited that he has a high potential rate for what he's done and seen to have some sort of post-traumatic stress. He's gone through that before, and obviously you'd think he has, considering how long he's been around. Eventually a story would come up like that, considering he's a veteran of World War II. But yeah, there's that, and then obviously the left picture, him and Iron Man fighting, Iron Man wearing his armored suit, much more powerful than Captain America. So there you go there. Now that's about it for character bios. I know I didn't touch upon the shield. Hope that didn't bother people. Basically, all you need to know about the shield is that it's made of vibranium and adamantium. Adamantium being indestructible, vibranium also being somewhat indestructible. But the difference is vibranium absorbs energy, which is why it's basically indestructible, because you don't have enough kinetic energy to actually damage it. And then adamantium is just naturally just really, really resilient. So that together basically makes an indestructible shield. And it's concave. That's really all you really need to know about it. He could throw it. He could use it as protection for himself, and it's very symbolic to the character. So I hope you guys enjoy this character bios. Next one's Batman Beyond. So I hope to get that one out there soon, and see you guys later.